Meanwhile, at the Grand Pub, Lawrence enjoying her coffee. Till Kristen came to her table, and Lawrence saw her. What's going on? I need your help. Sure, what's up? And as Kristen sat down, it's about my marriage. It might be over. Wait, I thought you and Michael were solid, just like Jesse and I. I know. Look, I could tell something's bothering you, so start talking. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in the dining room, Paul's reading a book on his iPhone. To Chad came inside this table, and Paul noticed and put his iPhone down. What's going on? Amanda fainted at school to a room I don't even know about. I just overheard something my mom and Harold said about Julian, and it has to do something about Amanda. She's been reacting to something that caused her to lose her balance. I think there's more to that. Meanwhile, in the waiting room, Wilma and Michael are bonding with their son Dusty. You are so amazing, aren't you? Yes, you are. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I promise you that we're gonna take care of you from here on out, always. And as Taya, Adam, and Julian approached to where they are, and Wilma, Michael, and Dusty saw, and as they all got up and faced him. Are those the results? Yes, they are. Julian, can you give us a minute? I'm not going anywhere with the matter. Besides, I'm her husband and I have every right to be enough. We're not having any drama here at all. And as the nurse came to where they are, and they all saw her. Esther, can you take Dusty for some ice cream? Yes, Miss Graham. Why can't I stay? And as Wilma got down to where Dusty is. Look, there's some matter that the grown-ups have to discuss for a minute, but I'll be with you momentarily. In the meantime, why don't you enjoy some ice cream? Okay. And as Wilma got back up, just in time for Esther to lead Dusty away, while Wilma went back to where the others are. Meanwhile, at the LAPD in the interrogation room where Tina's waiting, till Donald, Jeremy, and Daniel came in, with Daniel closing the door. And as they all went to where Tina is. Look, I know you lot gave it your best, Mom. There is no way we're giving up on you at all. We love you too much to do that. Yeah, I heard about you and Amanda. I am so sorry, don't be. Amanda and I weren't meant to be together at all. I cannot believe how vindictive your sister Karen really is. Thing is, she's never gotten over the fact that I kept Aaron away from her all these. That's her problem, Mom. All that matters is we would never turn our backs on you. Meanwhile, at the Grand Baptist Church in the sanctuary, as most of the people are waiting for Helen and CJ's wedding, let's get to the altar where CJ and Sean are talking. Look, I'm aware of the history you have with Helen. Oh, dude, it's fine. I just want to say I want what's best for my little brother, so I wish you good luck on your upcoming marriage. Thanks for the tip about Helen. And as the news begins, and as Vanessa and Matt begin walking down the aisle, and soon took their places, followed by Rachel and Aaron. And then Gwen and Eric. And as soon as they took their place, Helen came with John beside her. And as everyone stand up and turned and saw Helen with her dad. And as her dad turned and faced Helen. Are you ready for this? And as Helen turned and faced her dad. I was made for this. And as John began to escort his daughter Helen down the aisle, while everyone is looking at Joy. While that's happening, Helen is looking at CJ and he's doing the same thing. And as they both looking forward to becoming husband and wife. Soon they arrive at the end, and as Helen turned and faced her dad, and he did the same thing. I love you so much, Dad. Thank you for coming. I will always love you, not only as my daughter, but as my little girl. But don't tell anyone else that. Of course not. And as they hug each other, and pull back. And as John hid and stand by his wife Ashley, while Helen came to where CJ is. And as they begin facing each other, I cannot wait to have you as my husband. Me neither. And as everyone sat down, just as CJ and Helen turned and faced the minister, and as Helen and CJ's wedding begins. Meanwhile, at the Grand Baptist Church in the sanctuary, as Helen and CJ's wedding begins. Welcome, friends and family, to a wonderful occasion as we gather here to bring these two together in holy matrimony. Now, first things before we get to this, who give these two away? We do. Helen and CJ has faithfully come to God as they pledge to love for one another, as their union as two will soon become one. Let us begin. Helen, do you take CJ Dawson to be your husband, to have him to hold for better or worse, rich or poor, and in sickness and health, as long as you shall live? I do. CJ, do you take Helen Graham to be your wife, to have him to hold for better or worse, richer or poor, and in sickness and health, as long as you shall live? I do. Let us rejoice as God's love shall keep these two in line. May His love keep them strong forevermore. Meanwhile, in the recreation room where Helen and CJ's reception is going to take place, Tamara is looking at the display of CJ and Helen's wedding. This was supposed to be our wedding reception, CJ. We were supposed to be married for life. Well, I guess now I know the reason to why you came. And as Tamara turned and saw Kevin, who came in. Kevin, I didn't see you. Obviously, you didn't. And as Kevin went to where Tamara is, it is quite clear to me that CJ is still the love of your life, and he will always continue to be. Look, I was thinking, I know quite clear what you're thinking about. You've been stringing me along as backup in case your plan doesn't work. That is not true. Really? Then answer me this. While you're at your ex-boyfriend's wedding, let me answer that for you. You're hoping he'll leave Helen and come back to you. Meanwhile, at the Grand Pub, Lauren and Kristen are talking. Well, Lauren, all I can say is, I feel like a damn fool. Too bad you're not. Once I tell you everything, you'll think otherwise. Why don't you let me be the judge of that? Okay. I saw my husband and woman at the hospital early today. As it appears, they're about to kiss each other. Did you confront them on it? No. I was going to, but I felt too embarrassed, so I did the noble thing and I walked away. From what you just told me, perhaps there was a misunderstanding. I don't think it was. Anyways, what happened afterwards wasn't exactly what I expected. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in the dining room, Paul and Chad are talking. Dude, are you serious? Yeah. Now I don't know the details of how they managed to pull it off, unless they must have kidnapped Wilma, Jacob, Amanda, and Michael. I believe Jan kidnapped Jacob and held him somewhere unknown a few years ago. You think she's known about it? I don't know, mate, but I do know Julie now knows this information and is clearly keeping away from his wife. So basically, Wilma and Michael doesn't know yet. I've already given a hint to prove to Wilma, who's now having Taya run a DNA test to see if Dusty is their son, which isn't at all. And when that happens, her husband will be exposed as a fraud as we know it. Meanwhile, in the waiting room, Taya, Wilma, Michael, and Adam are talking. Do you have the results? Yes, we do. I am so glad you two lot went with your instincts. What do you mean by that? Thing is, Tay and I ran the test 3 times. Mike and I are Dusty's parents, right? Just tell me. Dusty means a lot to us. We know that. Unfortunately, the test results reveal that the 2 of you aren't Dusty's parents. So based on those reasons, you have no reason to be near my wife. Julian, back off! You did this, didn't you? White House, you couldn't stand to see us happy for our son. So you had to, dude, if I really want to ruin this, I would have done it by now. You bastard, in his Michael King and punched Julian to the floor. Meanwhile, at the LAPD in the interrogation room, Tina, Donald, Jeremy, and Daniel are talking. It is so good to hear you say that. It's true. And unlike Chris, no offense, Daniel, none taken, I will always be loyal to you. So will I. And as Grace came in and closed the door, and Tina, Donald, and Daniel saw her just as she came to where they are. I wouldn't be there for my brother's wedding, but I see my husband's gonna need my support, which I'm willing to give. And as Jeremy came to where his wife is, while Donald head to the cooler and get some stuff, with Daniel coming to help him. You really don't have to do this. I want to. Besides, I want to prove to my husband that I love him so much that I will support him no matter what. I love you. I love you too. And as they begin kissing each other, and as Tina watched what's going on, I am so glad to have this amazing family, and no matter what happens going forward, we'll stick together. I couldn't agree more. And as Donald and Daniel came with cups of cider, and as Daniel gave Grace and Jeremy one, while Donald gave Tina one. Let us all make a toast to this. Always together. I like that very much, Daniel. Always together. And as they all said, always together, as they all enjoyed their respective cups of sparkling cider. Meanwhile, at the Grand Baptist Church in the sanctuary, as Helen and CJ's wedding continues, Helen and CJ has chosen traditional vows towards each other. No matter what happens going forward, let it be said, once these 2 lots spoken their vows, no man or woman can break them apart. Now, let us have the rings. And as Sean and Isabella came and gave the minister the rings, as Isabella went and sat back down while Sean went and stand in his respective spot. CJ, repeat after me. With this ring, I take Helen Graham to be my wife, to have and to hold from this day forward in life. With this ring, I take Helen Graham to be my wife, to have and to hold from this day forward in life. And as CJ began putting the ring on Helen's finger, Helen, repeat after me. With this ring, I take CJ Dawson to be my husband, to have and to hold from this day forward in life. I take CJ Dawson to be my husband, to have and to hold from this day forward in life. And as Helen began putting the ring on CJ's finger. Now that these 2 have taken their vows, let no one tear them apart. Going forth, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you 2, husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride. And as Helen and CJ turn and face each other, we did it. Of course we did. And as they begin kissing each other, and as Will and Rachel pretend to be in joy of the wedded union. Meanwhile, in the recreation room, Tamara and Kevin are talking. You couldn't be more wrong, am I? Cause it seems to me you wouldn't dare pass a chance at all if you were to walk in this room this very second. What's your point, Kevin? I am sick of all these games you've been playing at ever since I got here. Look, I've already told you, it's not easy getting over Howard, so let me make it easy for you. We're done. Don't you dare walk away from me after until you get it in your mind that you and CJ don't belong. There is no we. Excuse me. And as CJ turned and went and left the recreation room. And as Tamara thinking, perhaps you're right. I can't lose the only man I've ever loved. I just can't lose CJ. Meanwhile, at the Grand Pub, Lauren and Tristan are talking. Okay, take me by step. What exactly did you saw? What I saw was nothing out of the ordinary at all. Wilma basically took advantage of my husband because Dusty got better. I'm quite certain they were celebrating. Kissing? You call that celebrating? I'm sorry. What did you say? You heard me correctly. They were about to kiss each other and had no care of the world except theirs. I think you should ask them point blank before it drives you completely bonkers, because I'm certain they were just thrilled to know that their son feels more better. Anyways, what happened afterwards, after you saw them kissing and you walking away? I ran into Will, and the next thing I know, I'm in bed with the guy, and if my husband finds out, then my marriage as I know it is over. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in the dining room, Paul and Chad are talking. Why would Julian decide to hide the truth from Wilma? Because he's a coward that thinks his marriage will survive because he thinks it can. Well, he's dreaming. Anyways, how does Amanda fit into this equation? Unless she must have been the one who's pregnant, not Wilma, but how's that even possible? My parents must have drugged Wilma into believing that she was pregnant. Wow, a psychosomatic pregnancy? Talk about sick and twisted. Yeah, tell me about it. Which is why Wilma needs to know the truth, and so do Amanda, because the damage is only gonna get worse from this point on. So what's your plan in all of this? Meanwhile, in the waiting room, Taya, Adam, Wilma are surprised by Michael's punch to Julian. And as Adam came to where Michael and Julian is. Yeah, not gonna happen here. You know something about this, don't you? And as Julian got up and faced Michael. You are so quick to just answer the damn question already. Did you know or not? Why were on that and as Wilma came to where they are? Why the hell were you hovering over me in fear that you're gonna lose me and all? Clearly you're blind to what's going on here. He is trying to break us up. Julian, you know that's not true. I do. Dude, in case you've forgotten, I have a wife who I love very much. You mean the one who saw you almost kiss my wife? Enough! I will not let you throw around your jealousy around. Wilma, why don't you walk with me? There's some things we need to discuss. And as Wilma and Taya turn and walk away, leaving Adam, Michael, and Julian left. Julian, I think it's best you leave. And as Adam turned and head towards his office, while Michael and Julian continue to talk. Let me give you a warning. No, let me. I'm gonna find out everything there is about Jesse not being mine. And if I find out you have anything to do with this in any way, there will be hell to pay, and you can count on that. And as Michael turned and walked away, and as Julian thinking, yeah, I guess we'll see about that. Meanwhile, at the LAPD in the interrogation room, Tina, Grace, Donald, Jeremy, and Daniel are talking. Well, I want to thank you lot for taking the time to visit me here. We're gonna find a way to get you out of this. Don't. Well, at least not yet. All those fools need a few months without me causing trouble. You know what? It doesn't matter what goes on because they always think you're gonna cause trouble. But I don't see that. Neither do I. People can truly change, and I'm seeing you're making an effort. Well, at least trying. Thank you, Grace. And as Warden came in, with 2 officers. Time to go. No matter what happens, I will always love you, Tina. I love you too. And as Donald and Tina got up and went and began kissing each other, while Grace, Jeremy, and Daniel also got up and went to where they are, just in time for Donald and Tina to pull away. And as Tina went to where Jeremy is, I'm really gonna miss you. Same here. You take care of yourself, Mom, and know I'm right here whenever you need me. I appreciate that very much. And as Jeremy and Tina begin hugging each other, and pull away. And as Tina went to her other son Daniel is, well, I'm afraid it's wrong. It's never goodbye. I refuse to lose you. Look, I know we didn't have a strong beginning when you and I met, but I want to say I love you for being my mom, and I couldn't replace you even if I had to. You've been the best thing that's ever happened to me, which is why you can count on me whenever you need me. It is so nice to hear you say that, and it kind of makes me feel special knowing that all of you lot love me so much. And for that, I will never forget that, because it feels so blessed under the circumstances to have the very people in my corner who care for me. We always will, and that's never gonna change. And as Tina went to where the warden is, and as she turned and had one last look at her husband Donald and her sons Jeremy and Daniel along with Grace. I love you all so much. And as the guards went and took Tina, and as they walked away along the warden, and as Donald turned and faced Grace, Jeremy, and Daniel, Tina will always be with us, no matter what. She will always continue to be. And I couldn't be more proud to call her my mom.